Nearly half of Americans don't expect to be financially ready when retirement comes. A new study shows the target keeps moving. Northwestern Mutual's latest research found the amount of Americans believe that they need to retire. That amount jumped $200,000 in a single year, now sitting at nearly $1.5 million. So we're going in depth into all of those numbers with Corey Hicks, a wealth management advisor with Northwestern Mutual. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, it's fun.
Okay, so the headline number is pretty eye-catching, nearly $1.5 million to retire. What's really driving that jump, and should the average American be concerned?
That's just a poll given to normal Americans.
Yeah.
It's not an economist thing, so it kind of tells you how people feel, right? Their stuff costs more, there's uncertainty around AI, and so all these things sort of make people think, I probably should have a little bit more money.
Okay. So when we think about half of Americans, how they're worrying that they will outlive their savings, give us some practical steps that people can really take to make sure that their money lasts as long as they do.
Well, I think some rules never change. Everyone's heard pay yourself first. If you treat savings like a mortgage, people tend not to miss mortgage payments.
Yeah.
If you treat your savings the same way, you're likely to be okay. And then no matter what your income, if you can learn to live on 80% of what you make and use that other 20% for handling risk and investments and all the things that, we're going to need later, you're probably going to be okay.
Yes, okay, 80-20 rule. So a surprising finding in the study is that half of millennials as well as Gen Zers, they expect to work in retirement. Are we redefining what retirement looks like?
No, I think it's probably driven by a couple things. One of the things we have in our office is that when you're doing a financial plan, you really only get to control a couple things. It's how much you spend, how much you save, and how long you work. So, if you're nervous and you maybe don't know what your number is, and you get out there at 60, kind of the last thing you can do is probably work a little longer. Savings and spending less, you're past that.
Yeah, and I love how you brought up earlier about AI. There are a lot of concerns about that. What can people do, especially as technology evolves as well as just the job market evolves? What steps should they be taking to really protect themselves and ensure that they have a viable future?
Well, that's a great question, and I think what I would view is, and I don't know who I stole this from, but they said, hey, I'm probably not going to lose my job to AI. But there's a good chance I will lose my job to someone who knows how to use it better. So I think if you're younger, you're in a field where that's something people are using, you probably better stay current with that.
Okay, and what's the single most important thing that you might tell someone now who is watching their savings and who's just really waiting and trying to figure out how to save for retirement? What's something that they can do, a practical step that they can do right now as well to help them with that?
I think it's what we covered before. I mean, just when you get a raise, don't let lifestyle creep soak it all up. Seek professional advice. One thing that from this study that was really clear is that people that have professional advice somewhere, they were more confident, they were more prepared, they knew their number.
Okay, and then lastly, were there any big takeaways or anything that surprised you? I mean, this is your world, this is what you see every day. Anything from this study that really surprised you?
Not really. I think what's interesting is we've made a big deal about this big jump, but if you go back to 2 years ago, it was the same number just 2 years ago. It was this number, went down a little bit, and now we're here again. So I would hope no one on their couch or at home looking at this would go, my number is 1.5. Just use that as a sentiment, right? Everyone's number is deeply personal.
Okay, all right. Mr. Hicks, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for your great advice that many of us could really use.